folks, TJ here. Thought I'd make a fun little video this morning, kind of a tongue-in-cheek video. And in the voice of Seinfeld, what does it mean with tongue-in-cheek? I can't talk like Seinfeld, but it's just an old saying. But where did it come from? How did it start? That's something Seinfeld would say. So as the thumbnail probably admitted to, this has been kind of a weird little week, one of those weeks. And I thought it'd be fun to just actually come down here and play a video game. But then, as I get older, I start getting smarter. I haven't had a coffee yet. This is going to be the first sip I thought I'd bring here. I said, TJ, playing a video game after a difficult week, a little bit of a harder week than normal, is like going into a grocery store and you haven't eaten anything for the day. You go in there, you bring a pig home for a luau, you bring all this stuff home, and then by the time you get home, you go, I'm a vegan. I'm not, but I am kind of semi-vegetarian, although we do periodically still eat meat. So I don't know if there's a name for that. I call it a weekend or weekday vegetarian. Weekday, Monday through Friday, we try to not eat meat, and then on weekend we may partake. But this video is I'm tired. I haven't made a video all week, and it was kind of one of those weeks that you just have to. And I'm gonna swear later too. Normally I never swear in my videos, but this particular word I hardly ever do, and it's going to be in context. But how should I start this? Let me have a sip of drink. I was smart enough not to play this video game. I was going to play this game called Loop de Loop. And it's like a jumping jack backwards with worse graphics and more angst. I think Sean Miller said, oh, this one's really hard. So I thought, what the hell? Why don't we cap off the week and play that kind of game? But I said, okay, slow down, drink a little coffee, and then you'll start thinking better. Because again, if you haven't had coffee yet, it's like going into a grocery store and you bring a pig home and you're a vegan. I put a little hot chocolate in my coffee drink today, which my coffee machine is part of the equation. Let me put this over here. Okay, so I'm in Northern California, lots of storms. So I thought pretty much it is now spring. I thought winter was kind of over. We just came off of a really bitchin' ass storm. Took out internet for 2 weeks. Fortunately, we only lost power one day. So things seem okay. We're going to settle down. So Tuesday, the weather people said, okay, it's going to be pretty damn windy, and you're going to get some dang good rain. But I didn't expect snow again. We got some snow. So Tuesday was fun because the wind was like a blustering power from hell, meets Satan. I don't know. It was really kick-ass windy. And when you have wet old trees and some just weathered, it's had a hard winter. We can't handle it anymore. So bitchin' ass wind came through and took out the power. So it was out basically from Tuesday midday to Wednesday morning. So about 24 hours. We're used to being power outages. It's not that big of a deal. We fill the tub with water. Because I live in the country, we don't have tap water that comes from a city system. It's a well. So if the power goes out, you have no water. And I'm not rich enough to own a house generator that comes on when the power goes out. Or am I really rich enough to own a decent generator to kind of go out there and connect up to run the whole house? I've got a little solar power thing to kind of run my refrigerator for a little bit of time. That's about as much as I could do because I'd rather spend $1,000 on an Atari Falcon or something else. Not that an Atari Falcon's that cheap. They're like $1 bazillion, but you get my drift. I'd rather spend the money on something else and kind of coast through those bad times. So anyway, the power went out. So that was kind of the start of the weekend. And if John, my coworker, if he's watching this, thanks for covering on the time that frickin' power goes out because I do my best, and I think he knows I do it. I MacGyver shit up to try to still work a little bit, whether it's at least take phone calls or be able to get on the internet at dial-up speeds to where I can at least do a little something. So I do my best. So I was partially on, partially off, then completely off, then back on. So thanks, John, for covering. He's a saint. Anyway, so no power. So that kicked it off. And it's no fun because you got to fill a bucket with water to flush the pooper. And I'm sorry, I can't go a day without taking a poop. I'm a man. I take poops multiple times a day. I'm not no lady. I don't want to, make this a lady man thing, but ladies can go like weeks without having to go. I gotta go all the time. So crap. Literally crap. So I gotta flush the pooper. I gotta fill up water, and you spill it as you're walking over to the toilet, and stuff's all over the place. So it started out that way. Okay, and then, and then then the snow comes, and the snow's not good because we're not in flat plains here, where if you start drifting a little bit, you're fine. You just drift off the road a little bit. Here, you fall over a mountainside. It's up and down roller coaster, and when you got icy, snowy, and people that don't know how to drive in snow because they got two-wheel drive, it becomes a mess. So my wife kind of barely got home. Fortunately, she does. I used to have a really nice four-wheel drive FJ Toyota. I sold it stupidly, but not stupidly. It was time to move on. But we have a nice Mini Cooper, Countryman all four with decent tires, and it actually does pretty dang good in the snow. She got home when other people were peeling off and slipping and sliding. She slipped and slided around a bit, but she took it careful, kind of paid attention. But there were trucks and trees down and electrical wires down. A mess. So she barely gets home. So a little nervous that it took my wife longer to get home on that night. So a little pressure. Then we had a nice romantic dinner. I cooked a canned soup because we had no power. But fortunately, I have a gas-based stove, propane stove, and we finally have plenty of propane. So we cooked a nice little dinner, candlelight dinner. Enjoyed that. So it would have been nice. Power was supposed to come back that night. It didn't. So it went all the way to the next day. So again, no power. You kind of get a little grumpy, and you got crazy pets. I've got two young dogs, and one of them, I swear to, Australian Shepherds are like Satan, Tyrannosaurus Rex, a Velociraptor, all in one from the age of 0 to 3. But ours is beyond that. She is compulsive. She has issues beyond what doctors can tell. I know for the next, hopefully, because I love her, 12, 15 years, she's going to cause havoc, but she is compulsive. I mean, she can sit and literally do something for 10 hours straight and not stop, and that something is not something you want done. She doesn't take no for an answer. No is not in her vocabulary. They say after 3 years old, she'll settle down. Bullshit. This dog is completely off the trail. And then she has a little brother, Cooper, our corgi, first corgi we've ever had. He's kind of crazy too because of her, but he's actually more sane. Cute little dog. But so every day around here, you say, oh, TJ's always happy. He's delightful. He's smiling. I do my best to kind of always put positive spins on negative things, and that's what this video is kind of about. It was a hard week, but I'm still trying to be positive about it, make comedy about it. Anyway, every day is crazy around here, and it's mostly driven by, I would say, the two dogs just being off the hook. And then we got 3 cats, and then we have to keep them separate from the dogs because they don't coexist well. I need another sip of coffee. This is going to be one of those videos that I'm just sitting here yapping away, but some people find it funny. Going off of somebody else's angst. This is good. It's chocolatey. Anyway, just making the coffee. So we've got this cat. His name's Blue. He's 11. He's a Siamese. He's got a twin sister. You can hear the dogs in the background. Just making the coffee. You have to hold it. He's like a honey badger. You ever heard of honey badgers? They don't take shit from anybody. They don't care who you are. They don't care if you're God, Satan, your owner. They own you. Just trying to make coffee and pour the milk in the carafe to do the thing. I gotta do all this to hold him back to pour the stupid milk in the thing. So milk's flying all over the place. So it continues today, my problems. Just little things, but they build up, and we're getting there. We'll get there. This is like that peanut butter, natural peanut butter stir thing that I did a little bit ago. I got stuff in my eye. This is Bitch Wednesday. I have a group of IRC friends that Wednesday we're allowed to bitch as much as you want about anything. And we're all older, so it's fun to bitch about shit. So anyway, what's my next thing? So, okay, power goes out. So then wife gets home and she goes, did you know one of our trees fell in the road? This like, okay. And fortunately, it wasn't a huge oak, but it was a big enough branch that people had to drive around it and limb. So I had to go out there with a chainsaw to cut it down. So I've got this new Ego chainsaw, pretty nice. But last spring when I was using it, the last time I used it, the chain came off. And I thought I put it back on right. Apparently I didn't. And it was too loose. So the chain came off of it as I'm trying to cut this shit down. And it's raining and pouring and snowing and shit. I'm all... So I go up to the garage, and I got 10 acres. So I got to walk down to the farthest point of the property to cut this thing and come back multiple times because I fixed the chain. I go back down there, and it comes off again. I'm like, son of a biscuits. So this third time I go down there, I bring some pruners, too. Even if I have to prune this son of a bitch to death, I'm going to get this limbs and shit out of the road. Fortunately, I tightened this sew up this time. It actually worked, so I was able to cut it back and get it off the road. But before I had got the chainsaw working, with this right hand, my joystick hand, my Sinclair hand, my Atari hand, things I play video games with, I grabbed one of the branches, and the branch was about that thick. And I was thinking, oh, I can grab it, really pull and break the son of a bitch. No, instead it freaking broke my hand. I felt this tingling and pop, and my hand's kind of tingling. I go, oh, shit. That doesn't feel good. Don't do that. Just leave the freaking limb in the tree. People could go around it. But I didn't want to, cause havoc. So I hurt my hand, my joystick hand, my thumb, my casting hand for fishing, Tenkara. It's kind of like, oh. So now I feel pain today in my hand. So anyway, I got that down. So chainsaw not working multiple times back and forth in the water and the rain and all that stuff. So I got it cut back so far. I get back to home, and then I had to go through all this recharging our battery to keep our refrigerator running. So I went out to the RV and charged up the battery to come back. So I've got a nice little solar thing on that, but you can run the engine and it can charge up stuff that you plug into an electrical outlet. So I did a charge on this battery to keep my refrigerator running. Fortunately, the power came back about an hour after I did all of that, right? But I needed to cover my ass, so I did it. So power came back. Great. All right. So I'm back into normal flow business. I let work know that I'm now fully back. I don't have to just take calls. And I'm working, and I go to the bathroom. Again, men go to the bathroom multiple times a day. Whether it's number 1 or number 2, I can do them all. I can do every single thing multiple times a day. I'm lucky that way, or unlucky that way. So I go in there, and there's no water. So during the power outage, which was a really freaky power outage, normally power goes out, and then when it comes back, you'll kind of get a boop, boop, and it's back. This one, when it came back for like 5 or 10 minutes, the whole house, you could hear boop, 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 boop. Shit was turning on and off. The power wasn't coming back all the way, and it would come and go and come and go. I go, oh shit. Shit's gonna start frying around here. It took out my well. My well's all the way on that side of the property, 1,000 miles. So in the sleet and snow, I trudged down there in my mud galopin shoes because there's a breaker on there. And sometimes if the power comes back weird, you got to break it. So I go down there, and fortunately, that's all it was. I was able to trip the breaker. At first, it wasn't working. I wasn't pushing. I've already had to do this a number of times. I pushed the button, and it didn't work. But then I pushed it again, and there's 2 red buttons. Not just one, but there's 2. And I always forget which one is what because I think it's only one. And I pushed it so hard, I heard a click. I go, that's either good or bad. But when I clicked it, all of a sudden, the pressure tank came on. I go, that's good. That's why we don't have water in the house. So I got the water running, came back, flushed the pooper. All is well, right? We think it's well. Literally a well. I go upstairs to flush that toilet because, again, you can whiz and throw a little bit of tissue in there, but don't keep flushing. We don't have a lot of water. The pressure tank only has so much. I go up there and flush. I don't use that upper one. I'm going to blame the wife on this, throwing too much tissue or something in there. But I flush it, and I'm not paying attention. All of a sudden, the freaking water starts coming over the toilet. I'm all son of a... And I'm grabbing towels and sopping up the stuff from Hades and greased it to the bowels, and it was thrown all over my damn toilet upstairs. I'm like, oh, that was almost the camel on the last straw. I'm like... Okay, and I just, as water's coming over and stopping, and I'm trying to plunge, and plunger's not working, I just stopped. And from the power of Grayskull, from the power of God, Satan, my mother-in-law, my mother, my dad, every power came into me and came to this body. And I just stopped. And I go, just, God. And then this is, cover your kids' ears, kids. You don't want to hear this. You don't like swearing. And I just built it up because normally I say, son of a bastard, you're a bastard. I went, because the toilet's coming up and stuff. And I just, it was too much. It was too much. And I just built it up and I go, laughing like that because it's comical. It's like, what else? I mean, is the roof going to now cave in? It's kind of, they're little things, but little things add up, and it's like, son of a shit, and oh. It was one of those weeks, just everything, no matter what I did. And to add to all that, I've got other things going on, like our RV that I paid lots of money for this last summer. The battery dies if you don't start it for 2 weeks. And I've been dealing with RAM on that, and they don't want to replace the battery because they're cheap-ass son of a beast saying, the battery's okay. Bullshit! It's the battery. It's bad. I said, okay, if I buy a battery and put it in and the problem goes away, will you then go ahead and say, yeah, it's the bad battery? They never got back to me. I mean, companies don't support their freaking customers. And it's kind of like, your battery's a piece of shit. Replace the son of a bitch. It costs you nothing other than a customer that's going to give you great kudos. They don't understand that. They're just I don't want to go there. I need another sip of coffee. So some of you may find this comical. It is kind of funny. I mean, have you ever... Lots of little things build up all day. And I was going to play a video game this morning, so I've been building this up. I'm going to play Jumpin' Jack. I'm going to play Ibuprofanation. I'm going to play this new game that's even harder than them. I thought, no. Again, the whole pig, and I'm a vegan. Think about it, drink some coffee, make a video. and it took a lot to just make that coffee. 15 hours, the cat was bumping me and I'm pushing him back. My life's kind of comical. So people that think, oh, TJ's always happy. I typically am, but I'm not. There's days I have just as many problems as everybody else. And there's people that have much worse. I spit all over my glasses than my little issues. So the moral of the story is, before you rip into somebody, get mad at them for being angry that day or whatever, think maybe they've had a pretty bad day. Maybe they've got some illness going on, something that's been building up in them. So try to be cool. Don't be a douche. Unless they're being super douchey. Then, if they're being super douchey, don't let just a normal douchebag run over you. I don't play well with stupid. If they're just plain old being an ass, you rip them apart. But in general, try to be nice. Try to flip things around. If you've had a bad day, think of something more positive, and then sit back and just kind of laugh about it a little bit. I'm going to go play this video game. I feel a little better. I'm drinking a little coffee. I feel a little better, but it's just been one of those weeks. It just... And I'm forgetting a lot of things. I forget if, I stuck my foot in a rat trap. I'm sure there's other things I'm forgetting that aren't very pleasurable, but I've faded them out because I do just enough to kind of come back. I want to come back and be happy and smile. So let's play some video games. I'm going to play, it's like loop-de-loop, and it looks like a really crappy game. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll put me back in a mood. I don't want this to be bitch Wednesday all day, but have you ever had one of those days, and do you, like me, normally go, build up, all the power is coming in, you can feel it, and you just stop and go, you can see the word I'm mouthing. I only want to say that once, and and it feels so good afterwards, and then you kind of, that's kind of funny, kind of laugh about it a little bit, and then you got to continue on, do the best you can. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. Have a great rest of your week.